Hello, I'm Jazz and this is Heels Up. In this episode, I talked to Anne Kessler of Germany. She's currently experiencing her most successful season to date. She's a great ambassador of the sport. Welcome, Anne. Tell me about your parents, because your dad is doing a lot for the sport. I think your mum is always involved and always very supportive.
Yeah, my parents both are very supportive for me. They brought me to telemark skiing. I think I started when I was 12 years old and my dad taught it to me and some friends of mine. And my mum is just all around when we're racing and supporting as much as she can as like a gate judge or something. And my dad is also starting to organize some races, and that's quite nice.
Yeah, he organised the World Cup in Hintertux this year.
He wasn't organizing like the whole event thing, but he was like the one watching about the race and that the race was working, and I think Richard was the one organizing the event and stuff around it.
And your mum is always somebody that says the right thing. Like, she can measure if you're in a good mood or not, and she knows what to do.
Most of the time, yes. Sometimes I think I'm too similar to my mum, and sometimes that's good because she says the right things because she knows how to behave around me. But sometimes it's a bit weird for me because I know, okay, maybe I will be the same in like 30 years or something.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Not
a
in
good
everything,
thing.
But
yeah, she always says the right thing to me.
That's nice.
And you have.
She's a big fan of you.
I'm cool with that. And your grandma as well. She's English.
Yes,
so actually your mum is half English.
Yes, true.
And you were telling me before that she was a ballet dancer.
Yeah, that's right. I think she was in ballet school in London, and then came to Augsburg, somewhere in Bavaria, and then tried to get to the Munich Opera House, and she made it. And then she was dancing there for a few years until my mum's little brother came to birth.
So she met a German guy and just stayed?
Kind of, yes.
Pretty much the story.
Yes.
And who else is in your support network?
It's my parents and my boyfriend, yes. I met him skiing, so he's also supporting me around sport. Yeah, that's nice. He is not racing or something, he's a ski instructor, and so it's nice chatting about techniques or something.
So how long have you been together?
Almost 4 years. So it's quite a long time. Time flies.
How did you meet him?
Doing the ski instructor workshop, kind of, yes. We met directly in the Alps skiing. Like, we had good talks, and yeah, he was a nice person, and it seems it was too easy to be like a love story or something. It just like we were just, it worked well with us, and that's it.
That's very cute.
Very easy.
Yeah, that's great when it's easy. That's just the best. What does he represent to you? Like, what does he bring to your life?
I think a lot of like calmness and like a place where I can take rest, but also somebody who I can like explore new things with, like a good mixture, good support in the background.
What does he think of the Telemark World and competitions?
He's not that competition guy, which is like good to have in the background when you're like all in the competition thing and everything is overwhelming, and then you can take the step back together with him. And he's like a guy who's very interested in new things, and so it was like, I think the first time in Norway over here, where he tried telemark for the first time, just for like looking how he can improve his skiing more, and so he tried telemark. And now he has his own skis and boots and does it like a few times a year.
Yeah, that's how you know that you have a keeper, is if they will telemark, I think. Yes. So you met him doing the ski instructor stuff?
Yes.
So tell me about that.
I have the highest level in like alpine and telemark, and it's nice because we with my boyfriend together, we met a lot of friends, and it's nice skiing with them together, and it's fun skiing with other people who are good in skiing. That
you can exchange, it's fun, isn't it? For sure, it's fun. Yes. And so what else do you do outside of telemark skiing and ski instructing?
I mainly study.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the main part, but in winter it's like almost 50-50 with skiing and studying. I did my bachelor in sports science, so it's also sports related. And I thought, like, in the beginning, let's do like a more or less easy study, because then you have time for skiing. And now I do a master that's a bit more specific. It's called Human Factors Engineering, and it combines kind of the sports science side, the psychological side, and some engineering side, and combines like engineering all about human with ergonomics and all that different. Everything is kind of related to ergonomics or human-robot interaction, human-machine interaction and such things.
As well, your mum, going back to your mum, her company, your sponsor.
Yeah, true.
She must know a lot about sport as well.
Yes, it's really good to have I often exchange with her a lot about movements and how to like understand movements. If I'm like skiing one turn better than the other, she looks at me and she's like, oh, maybe you have to strengthen your hip more or something. So she's more on like the practical side. She's like a sports therapist. And everybody at first, when I started studying sports science, everybody told to me, she was and saying like, oh, you want to do the same as your mom? And I was like, no, I won't. But it's kind of the same interest into sport and into movement, but maybe for me on another level. Yes.
It's different. It's interesting that it's a different angle.
Yeah, true. It fits together, so we can like put both of our perspectives, and then it's a great new point of view to work on things and themes.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And this season looks to be, I mean, so far, touch wood, but your best season so far.
Yeah, it started out pretty good. We had like a good training in autumn, so the first races really went good. But right now, I hope to keep that going. We haven't had like much of training since like December or something. So I mentioned that it's like hard to get that level up, or to keep that level up. Yeah, I try just to have fun and not to think too much about it, because that maybe pulls me down a bit if I'm thinking about too much going wrong. So I try to keep the good parts and build up on that.
What do you feel is good at the moment then?
Good question. Some turns, but not all. So I try to keep the good turns. Today, the training, I felt like my jumping is coming back, and I'm finding the spot where to jump on the jump. Hope to find that spot on the race again. My skating is a bit better than the last years, so I improved at each part a little bit, but I have to bring it all together and run race. And that's like the difficult part, I think.
Yeah, it always feels like something is not 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I also had like races this season where the result was good, even when I made mistakes. And of course it like depends on what the others did. But it feels good that the results are coming and okay, but my feeling have to stay where it is, because sometimes my feeling of how I ski doesn't fit together with how it looks from the outer perspective, and that like is difficult for me to work on. Because it feels strange, because I feel like I'm really trying to give power, and from the outside it looks like I'm skiing just like it's a training, or I don't know.
Yeah, so maybe some disconnect sometimes.
Yes.
Or, I think everyone has that.
Yes, and sometimes that's more. I did this for the last 2 years a lot, and I was like really questioning a lot, because everybody was talking to me, oh, why are you so anxious, or why are you so shy on how you ski? And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm really trying to push, but it doesn't look like, I don't know, some barriers in the head somewhere, and sometimes I made them to overcome them, and yes.
It's not like a one-time thing that you just overcome it and it's good forever. That would be
sometimes
great.
Take more steps forward, and then there are some steps back again.
Yeah, I think the worst part is not always knowing why.
Yes.
That you can't fix it, you don't know why.
That's like, you're an athlete, you want to improve yourself. So you want to know what is wrong so you can improve on that, and not knowing where your mistakes are or where to improve. That's so hard. And I think one part of this is surely that we don't have a coach with us that often. So of course we can do the jump on the training day for like 6 times, and sometimes it feels like I'm jumping farther or not that far, but I don't know what I made different to do that. So that's like the difficult part for that.
Oh, that is difficult for you guys. So how do you manage as a team? You sort of take it in turns and have different roles, or?
Kind of, yes. So we have like Leo is doing all our material with the spare poles and the waxing stuff. It's Leo and Colette doing it. Some others of us, they are like organizing who's coming to which races, and so we are like working together. And sometimes it's easier and sometimes it's harder. I think that's normal, but I think we're doing good. Yes.
I think you guys do really good.
Yes.
It's not easy.
Doesn't feel like that all the time because there are like so many barriers you have to overcome all the time, and then you thought you're like on a good way, and then there's like an outer voice or something who's like pushing you back, and it's like, hey, we're trying so hard, and we know that our sport isn't that big, but we try to improve it every time. But if like the outer system is not making it easy for you, then it's like really much work to have all the organization stuff as well as racing.
Absolutely. When you say outer voice,
Yeah, maybe I'm not good in finding the right words.
is it outside opinions that maybe bring
No,
you down?
it's more like because we are not an Olympic sport. We are like not professional sport, and so like finding all the money, and this is so difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And we're trying so hard to improve, and they were just still saying, you're not Olympic, so that's the reason why we don't give you money. So there's no like perspective how we can improve or something. Mm-hmm. And not like, oh, if you improve this and this and this step, then this is the right way.
It's difficult to know the way forward.
Because we like have a good coach with Annette regarding the ski technique side, but we don't have like that big support in organizing and coming to the races as just like manpower with helping at the races. And this is like you have to work like double job. You're an athlete and you have like the organization stuff, going to team captains meetings and such things. Yes.
Selecting wax.
Yes.
Choice of line at the jump.
Yeah, I
distance.
think selecting wax is like, it's for all of our athletes. It's like our job because we're not having service persons around us. I think that's like kind of small things which are like working well because we did it for so many years. But if there's like this additional to being athlete and trying to recover in the afternoon, you also have to like do some university or like go to team captains meetings. That's like time consuming. Just say it like this. Yes.
Yeah.
And it would be much easier to have somebody who's reliant with you on the races and can help you with that.
Part of the difficulties is not being in an Olympic sport.
Surely, yes.
And we actually, at the time of recording today, right at this moment, the Olympics are on.
Yes.
What's your opinion on that? Would you like to be there, or do you feel left out?
Of course. I don't know if I feel left out because it's like we never have been in and we're like thrown out. But I really am a fan of the Olympics and of the Olympic spirit, and like most of the time all of the like different kind of sports coming together. And I think it's a good thing for sports and showing sports from the best side. And it would be so nice to be part of this because it like we feel like doing everything for the sport and having a sport which is nice to look at. So it feels like strange that we're not in it because we're on the one side, the traditional sport, but we're also like modern and like trying to improve every year. And you see the differences from now to like 2 or 3 years ago, what's like our level of athleticness. I don't know if that's a word is. So it's like, it feels like we're really coming forward, and it would be such a nice reward to also be an Olympic sport because like that's the biggest thing as an athlete, to go there.
What was your involvement previously on the Olympic side?
Yeah, I once had the chance to go to the Olympics in Pyeongchang in 2018. The German Olympic Committee, is it the right word? Yes. They have like a youth camp at the Olympics every time. It's like mixed with Olympic sports, young athletes, but also some Paralympic young athletes. And we like represent the young German new athletes, or like also if you're a ski instructor or like a coach in your discipline, you can also like apply for that. For me it was in South Korea, which was quite nice. And then you have some like representative things to do. We met like the German president or stuff, but we also watched some sport, which was really nice. But we also did like cultural things and met some other young people from Korea. And so it was quite a complete experience, which was quite nice, but even made me a bit more like sad not to have this possibility as an active athlete. Yes.
Yeah, I can understand. You have won Sports Personality of the Year twice.
In my hometown, yes.
That's quite cool.
They're really trying to do this kind of election on a good level. Part of the election is like the different sports club in that town, but it's also a public election where you can vote for your preferred athlete, and it's kind of nice. It's also a reward for your achievements. Over there, they don't make any difference between like Olympic sport and non-Olympic sport. Last time or 2 years ago, someone competing at the Special Olympics had won the prize.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which was really nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, well, congrats.
That's really
for
cool.
that.
Yes.
Talking about results, like I said, you've done your best results actually this season with a few fifth places now.
I think 2 fifth places.
Two
yes.
fifth places.
And 1 fourth in a FIS race, but it were like the same people racing as in the World Cup. So it's just, I can't say it's in the World Cup because it was a FIS race.
She's got the wrong title on
Yes,
there. Yeah.
It was just the wrong day. I was faster. It was such a good feeling that all the work now paid off. Now I know I'm able to do it. I didn't have to question it like, oh, maybe I'm just not able to do it. Now I know it's possible. Yeah, it's easier for like the rest of the season to work on and on again.
You have something to build on.
Yeah, like the perspective is really now there.
Yeah. You've done second in the juniors in the parallel sprint and the classic. That was in 2019.
Yeah, that's true.
Third in the classic and sprint in 2021. So you've sort of been there or thereabouts for quite a long time.
Yeah, but then
hard.
all the good and fast young French and other girls came, and I was like, oh no, maybe I just missed out or something. Yeah.
Those pesky French.
There also was like the COVID pandemics, and that wasn't the easiest time with studying and no contacts, and you weren't allowed to ski in Germany, and so it wasn't that easy. And that was like the time of most of the time of my juniors. So like every season was different. So yeah, I really wanted to have that one gold in the juniors, but it like didn't work out in the last year.
But you have been working hard a long time.
Yeah.
So it must be nice now that the results are starting to come and pay off in World Cup.
I think it's already my 9th season this year.
Oh, wow.
I still feel as not a young athlete because I'm not a junior, but I didn't feel as experienced as you or something.
Well, I don't feel that experience sometimes, and I obviously am, but I definitely feel it sometimes.
Yeah, but of course I started with 16. I directly stepped from alpine racing to telemark racing.
What do you base your confidence on?
Being healthy. Yeah, because there were too many races in my career where I was like coughing too much or was just like not on top of my health. And if I am, then that's a big basis of my confidence.
That's interesting.
Yes, as well as like how training the last weeks went, how strong I feel. Of course, it's like the past results always have some influence on your confidence. I think it's not easy to completely left that out of your mind.
Do you get anxious about the racing?
No, I think there's no anxious things. I try not to be anxious about anything because I think if you get anxious, then it won't work. Then you get afraid, then you step back. It's even like your body is like not that active again, and then well, I feel like then it's more possible to get like injured or something. And I think that's also one of the main parts of my training, on trying to keep my knees stable and training so I won't get injured any day. Of course, you can't be sure about it anytime. It can be so fast that you're injured, but I really try to work on like stability on core and leg muscles to not get injured. I think that's for me, that's still more important than winning a race or something. Is not maybe that's where I could be more competitive in like really wanting to win the race. But I think for me, the main part is still like not getting injured and having a good life afterwards. Yes.
So you really value your health?
Yes, I do. And I'm really glad that I didn't have like any bigger injuries so far. Like, knock on wood.
Whole time touching wood on this
Yes.
podcast. Yeah. What else do you value?
Health, family and friends. So to have a room where you can like come to rest completely without like outer voices and stuff. And I think I really have that in my family.
That's good.
Yeah, that's so good.
That's
to have
really
like
good.
a good back support.
Yeah.
And I think that's also a main part on how you can be competing that much and on that level. It's so hard to do that without your family or friends in the background.
You're an only child as well.
Yeah, sadly.
Sadly. Why sad?
I don't know. My mom always was saying that I'm a child who was made for like other siblings and stuff, but like, it didn't work out. So I'm an only child. Mm-hmm. But my dad's cousins are quite young, so they are just a bit older than I am. So it was like I'm their little sister, but it's like my dad's cousins. But it felt like they were like my cousins or sisters.
Who are your telemark inspirations?
My telemark inspirations. I don't have that one person who's my inspiration. I pick like a few things from different athletes and I see, oh, like for example, you're a good skater. Oh, I also want that for that part I'm looking on you, and for other parts I'm kind of looking to someone else or to other athletes from different sports. To like I never wanted to be like that one athlete or something. I just like, oh, this athlete is nice and this also, and I try to collect it their things to build on my own personality. Yeah.
But when you started out in telemark, was there somebody that helped you get going?
My dad brought it to me, and then it went really quick. I was like doing telemark for 1 or 2 times a year since I was 12 or something, but I mainly was alpine racing on a really basis level. But I think then the main part where all the things really went fast was Fritz, our old coach, because he just saw us racing on the German championship then when I was 15 or something, together with Antonia and some of the boys. And he was just like talking, oh, you can just join our training in the spring. And that was I think the turning point, how it all began with being in the team and stuff.
And when you started, you had Toby Müller, Johanna Holtzman.
I think Toby just switched to ski cross in the year I started telemark. I just remember my first World Cup in Hintertux. It was the last World Cup in Hintertux before like the long break now. Mm-hmm. There was like a struggle with all the helmets because we weren't sure about what helmets we were allowed to race, and our coach prior told us, oh, your helmets are okay, and then they weren't. And I skied my first telemark World Cup with Toby Müller's helmet.
There you go.
Yes, and he was like sponsored by Hintertux at that time. Oh. So I skied in Hintertux with like the Hintertux ad on my helmet.
And tell me more about Fritz, because he's a big character.
He is a big character, and he was really like living for the telemark sport and living for our team as a coach and like organizing all the stuff. And at that time, we didn't realize how important such a person is for the sport and for the team. And that was quite nice because he was like holding our team together, like saying what to do and what not to do. That was kind of funny, yes. And always with like a funny joke saying or something, so it was
always
not that strict, funny. But
yeah, I seem to remember being teased a lot when I did some training with the Germans back in the day. But
you rarely got a compliment. It was like, if you hear nothing, then it was good.
It was really like that actually.
But we're used to that, and so it worked. So you just have to know how your coach is telling things, and then you're able to get with that. And if you're having a new coach, at first you have to learn about them and mention, how do they give feedback, and then it works nice.
Yeah, you learn their communication style.
Yes.
And you're good.
Yes.
I remember doing a training with Fritz, and he asked me after inspection how many bananas there were.
Oh yes, you told me.
And I just guessed because I wasn't paying attention to that, and then he told me that it was wrong. But I've always known exactly since that day, because that was so embarrassing that but it was a lot of fun training with the Germans actually. Yeah. Got some good memories with you guys. So was there a moment when you thought, yes, this is my sport, and also a moment where you thought, actually, this is really tough. I don't know if I can keep going?
First part was like, yes, this is what my sport. I think it was like the time I got on the team, because I really like how it puts different things together with like not just skiing downhill, but also like the skating and the jumping, because it's like such a complete sport. And I was like, oh yes, that's really what I wanted to do. And it felt like this is my sport, of course, when I was good at the juniors or something. But there also were hard times, of course, especially during the COVID pandemics, because it was like so much to manage between university and how can I get from Munich or wherever I was to the races and back. That was a hard time. But also like last season, it was my 8th season. I was in the World Cup for so long, but like the results were like dropping over and over again. It was the parallel during the World Championships last season was the first parallel I didn't qualify without any fall or any crash or something. And I was like, how? I skied all the years, okay, and I managed to like qualify myself. Now I like did the same and I didn't qualify, and how can that happen? That was quite hard for me. So the summer I really tried not to think too much about telemarking. Just I know I had to do my training, strength training and especially endurance training, because that's not my strength. And I know I had to do that, and I did that on a basis level. And in the end of the summer, I really was happy doing sports again. And then, of course, the training in autumn really went well. And then I was like, okay, yes. And now I know again why I do this. If you're out in the mountain and it's like sunny and nice weather and the slopes are nice or something, and you can ski a good turn, then it's like so much joy that you really know why you do that.
What do you think's your biggest strength?
My biggest strength, it's like not taking everything too serious sometimes, to being like cool with how it went without like thinking too much about it. I think I'm quite good in not getting too involved in too many different things and getting crazy about too many different things, or like two people like not arguing about things, and I was like not putting myself to one side or the other. I'm quite good in like keeping that overview over both perspectives and say like moderate that to a good way. Yes,
seeing things from different points of view, but not getting too sucked in.
Yeah, that's the better way to say it. I don't like it every time to get like in between these people then, but I think I'm good in it. But I don't want to do it all the time, because it's like also it takes a lot of my energy to then do it and to moderate between people. But I'm able to do it. Yes.
That's a good skill to have.
Yes.
So what's your big dream then in telemark, in life? What do you want to do?
Oh, good questions. I haven't thought so much about that. I don't have like that big dream. I have like a few things I want to accomplish. But in telemark racing, of course, it would be nice to have like a podium in the World Cup, because that's like the next step after top 5. That would be really cool. And in life, it's like just having a good time. Having a job which is fun and where I like to work in, because I think that's the main thing you will do your whole life. And having a good family and good friends you can do nice adventures with. But I don't have like this one big thing I want to achieve or something.
You don't need to.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I think that's okay.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And I thank you for your time, for chatting, for sharing your insights and perspectives. It's been really cool to chat to you.
Yeah, thank you that I had like the possibility to talk with you.
Of course.
It's like as you came up to me with like, oh, I want to make it a podcast with you, I was like, why would you want to make it with me? I'm just like, I'm not that podium skier or something. And I was like, okay, that's nice, but thank you.
Well, I think you're progressing and you're there to better yourself every time. And
we're all there to do this.
I know, but I want the German perspective, and you gave me that.
Yeah,
and
that's
I've
nice.
known you many years, and it was cool to chat, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to Anne. I learnt so much and I hope you did too. You can follow her on Instagram and all links will be in the description. This podcast was produced and edited by Gurul Strom Eriksson, music by Jed Kennison. We are on Spotify and YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram at HeelsUpPod. And if you enjoyed the podcast and would like to support, you can buy us a coffee. All links in description.
Sometimes I look in the mirror at the morning and I'm like, it's not too bad today. But then I was like recognizing, oh, I'm watching without my glasses.